10 here for Open Fire Gaming, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about how Kayne and Lynch 2 Dog Days can be one of the best games ever made. By no means am I saying this game is going to take the market by storm or redefine the shooter genre, because other games have a lot better shot at doing that, but this game has a lot of potential to bring something new to the market that was kind of left in the dark after the first game really tanked. First, let's talk about the first game. The first one had a lot of issues, not necessarily a shoddy control scheme, but the way it interacted with the environment around it. There was a lot of problems with things along the lines of when you tried to do something, it did something else, you tried to take cover, and things like that. And a lot of that was kind of bad, and the gameplay really suffered for it. And when you're trying to get through certain areas, it's a lot harder than it needed to be, and especially on the PC when you're trying to do it with a mouse and keyboard. So it was very unacceptable in the gameplay. But however, some of the good things about it were when you were watching these scenes with the characters. I mean, at least for a video game, it was one of the most epic stories I was ever a part of. And I was, not even really all into the crime kind of thing that was going on. But the characters themselves, Kayne and Lynch, were very deep, and they had their own internal problems, and it really unfolded like a good book. It was very dramatic, and sometimes too dramatic. And sometimes they kind of overdid it with, I would say personally, a lot of the language, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but there was like a lot of bad language, and it was kind of, the F word kind of lost all meaning with the characters, because they said it so much that as I was playing the game, I'm like, alright, this is a little bit much. But outside of that, the characters are very deep, and the reason why I see so much potential is that you look at these two guys, and they're both very desperate for different reasons. And in the first game, Kayne had his whole family on the line. It was these two guys that were forced to be together, and it was really deep. So what I was able to think of is when I played the game, I kept getting pulled in by the story and then getting shot down by the gameplay. And it was upsetting for me because I really wish I could get through more of it without being so frustrated. So now the sequel is around the corner. And I think this is where it's going to come back. They created, the developers are talking a lot about remedying these gameplay problems. It was very obvious. It was no secret how bad it was. And it's going to push into a new story from Lynch's perspective this time around. And I'm really excited to see what's going to go on. Here's how this could be, I would say, transcendent as opposed to its predecessor. Number one is, I would say, the online was one of the best ideas I think I've ever seen. Because the most fun I had when I was playing the original was when we were going into the bank, and I guess in Lynch's words, Kayne was trying to steal his own shit, which was all part of the story and how he was trying to make it look like someone else took something that was his so he could use it to help himself. So this whole scene where you had a team, it was you, Lynch, and the guy, I forget what this other guy was, but he was like a techie guy that could break through doors, and you had to do this whole heist, and like Lynch went off on his own, he did his own part, and everyone was doing their job, a lot like Ocean's 11 is what it reminded me of. And you had to go in and you had to take the bank, you had to hold positions, and you had to break into the lockers, and you had to, obviously gun down people in your way because it was very violent, but then eventually when you got in there, it was one of the best experiences. And then they brought that to the online, so you had this thing where, okay, we're robbing a bank, and you go in and you have to steal a whole bunch of things, and you take all the loot, and then you're proposed with this. And this is something that was in the story. It was like, should I kill my teammates and get more loot for myself? Or should I not kill them and then we all leave, or not have this little civil war, and then we all make it out alive but I'll get less? And then this balance of risk and reward, and what am I going to end up? Am I going to end up dead, or am I going to end up rich? So there's like a lot of balance in there. You bring that into the online with a better gameplay, and then hopefully when they fix these things, you can have this really deep online, as opposed to, nothing against Call of Duty and their genre, but just running around mindlessly shooting each other. At least now we have like a very focused, cooperative, and competitive at the same time goal to bring this new level of strategy and thought and in gameplay just straight ahead. And I think it's going to be really fun. Of course, now it's on a next generation console. We're going to have a lot more in the visual end. I don't think it's going to take the world by storm, but it looks very good. Hopefully they can resolve the major, I can't even say minor, the major problems that affected the previous, so that can be a lot better this time around. And I think with a great character, a great online, an amazing story, this game could really take the market by storm. Now, I'll tell you this much. Am I going to be disappointed? Yes, I am. I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm not only going to be disappointed, I'm going to be upset because I know this is not going to happen. But if anyone can make this game or take this, what they have, and make it amazing and make it transcendent to the next generation of what this game could really be, I'd really love to see it, because a game where you have characters that are so developed it's an existing franchise, and you can make an element for people and players to work together and against each other at the same time, brings something more to the game than team-based cooperative and team-on-team competitive. And it feels like a very real situation, and I think this is the franchise to do it. So I'm very excited to see the game when it comes out, and I hope to see you guys soon.